I'll have to get another streaming thing, or buy a laptop. I think that'll be probably what I'll have to do here, so I can stream better. So yeah, I just wanted to hop on real quick here. Basically, what happened today was I just got a message from the Galactic Council, and they really said, now's a very important and crucial and very sensitive time in the unfoldment of everything that's happening. So without saying too much, well, they already said it's okay to say this, which means that it's already all set, signed, sealed, delivered, right? But what they said, which I think is really important, is because there's a lot of people out there in the media, that just I see, who are saying making all kinds of predictions. They're putting things in order, logically that it makes sense. So we can predict this, we can predict that, we can see this from happening, we can see that from happening. And a lot of times I feel, or what I see, is I see like, especially in the spiritual community or in the awakened community, it's like, oh, the game's already won, good guys have already won, so let's do it, let's get rid of these bad ones, let's, and the reality to that is we are, it is happening, but it takes time. There's a lot of people who've been waiting for a really long time. Even I feel like I've been waiting for a long time. There's people that are older than me that have been waiting since I was born. Like I can't, it's all relative, but it's important to remember the scope of what's actually happening. Everyone says, how everything's recorded, online. We have all the documents. NSA's got every recorded conversation from anybody, good guy, bad guy, treasoner, not treasoner, whoever they are. It's like we have every single piece of evidence, available. So why aren't we just, blowing everything all wide open and just dropping bombs left and right? Well, because it would blow up everything. We don't necessarily want to do that. A lot of people would be shocked, stupid or whatever, right? It's like when the lady watched the Passion of the Christ in the theater and she had a heart attack and passed away because of the crucifixion scene, and what did she expect the crucifixion was like? Like it wasn't pretty, so, it's like when people see what things really are versus what they have pictured in their minds, Jesus just up on the cross having a wonderful day, people are going to get floored, but, most people don't care. Most people don't want to know this stuff. Most people don't, so when it happens, people get upset and then they wonder why they're upset. But, we all get like that. I mean, there's too much stuff to pay attention to in the world nowadays. It's impossible to be like intimately with every single thing, right? So, the importance there is, take yourself out of it, step back, have some popcorn, right? Watch the show, like don't have to worry too much. But it's really, is that insight that they gave me, they wanted me to, put out there, where it's, the good guys are winning, like we already have won, right? But it's all mental perception, right? This whole control thing, humans, aliens, whatever, right? It's all just perception. You are what you perceive, if you see it, then you obviously believe it's true, or whatever. So it's that idea. So stop, but then you got to get into the internal aspects. If you see it inside first, that's where we're really seeing things. Everything we see out here is second. So don't use that to, for your initial. That's why it doesn't connect. That's why the world around us isn't as satisfying as the world inside of us. It never will be, because it's just temporary, for that moment. And in order to stay in balance, we need to be balance. If you're going to be a balanced being who can go anywhere and do anything, you can't be tied down. I love trees so much in nature. I just want to stay in trees, all the time, and that's like, okay, well, if you don't ever go to water or air or fire or, any of the other elements, well, they're all there in the forest, I guess, in parts, but, that's not anything, so that's not the totality of who we are. That's just a specification of it, or an individualization. But it's really important that what they said was, it doesn't have to be a slow burn, but it's people are waking up, so if you're impatient out there, just take your time, and really realize, so if good guys are winning and there's good guys, bad guys, whatever, if all of this stuff is what, just in general, just something like that, you can't know the plan, like, yeah, sure, there's a lot of people, out there, independent media, talking about, the good things that are happening, the love, the light, but if we knew and we're just saying every single, detail of our plan and how we're gonna, win or whatever, like, well, then we'd give it all away, guys, so we can't do that. But the feeling they sent me, and the importance was really, it's okay. Like, we got this. It's all good. But, there's more to it than just like, oh, we just need to, hey, we have all the indictments, right? Or something, like people are getting indicted or whatever all that stuff's about, like whatever that's about. Who knows what that's all about. But, it's like, so okay, so we got them, so we're just gonna fix everything once they're all in jail. Like, that's just gonna fix it, and it's just like, well, think about, how big of a scope this is. Think of how, it's been hijacked, and then it's been hijacked and then bought and paid for and bought and paid for and bought and paid for hundreds and hundreds of years. See, in our history, we think there's a separation between Egypt, AD. BC, AD, there is no separation there. You know what I'm saying? We don't have it because we're never told it in our history books, right? But we think of like the ancient Egyptians as like these people over there, and then they never talk to us, and well, not exactly, but like life has been moving along, so there is a history, there is a past, there is, and that's the other thing too, I find in being an American raised person living in America, it's like all the amazingness that we've just made everything like it's never been here before. It's like, no, it's why I got into traditional Chinese medicine. We got modern medicine. It's been around, what, 200 years, 300 years, modern medicine. It doesn't hold a candle to traditional Chinese medicine, but you can't tell an American that, well, maybe not, maybe some of them, but it's like, listen, it's important to be proud of yourself and your land and your people. Like, yeah, okay, sure, but it's like, you've only been here for a couple hundred years, right? Like, perspective, man. Like, yeah, it's important to get some perspective. But it's like I said about the Civil War in my last video. Oh yeah, united we stand, right? Well, and divided we fall. Well, I guess. Which one we gonna do, guys? I don't know. Depends on your perspective, I guess. Which war we're looking at? Was it the one we won or the one we won? It was the one where we won and lost at the same time. No, I don't know. I'm not making any points now. I'm just being a stinker, a goofball. But really, it's like people talk about reality, and it's like, I don't even think they know what that is sometimes, And again, we're all like that, right? Because our reality is our reality. It's your reality to you. It's what is important to you, But then it gets on levels where it's like, ugh, it just gets confusing when you kind of talk about it, But the reason why is because you can't think black and white, That's the old way of thinking, like, oh, it is what it is, and that's how it'll always be. No, it's never how it will always be. It never has been how anything will always be. So anything about keeping something stable, it's wrong. Like, that's not, to me, that's like that's anti-freedom, not allowing the rock to be a rock, changing it into something else, like there's all that, like alchemy and stuff, where we're going to change, lead into gold and water into wine, and it's like, well, why don't we just go get wine then? Like, wine's already wine, why we got to make the water be the wine? Why can't we let the water be the water, and then we let the wine be the wine, and then we just, and don't get me wrong, if like you're trying to have a party, all you got is water, it's not going to work. So, if you can call Jesus in real quick, he can help you out. But, it's just like, it's weird thinking, like it already is a thing, like, but we got to make it something, better. And again, that's judgment, opinion, perception, perceptual, yeah. But, what was that? So Galactic Council wants us to, be patient. And then they were saying too is like, like they want us to be voicing and everything, and like waking people up, but at the same time, like shh, like don't give away the plan, guys, like, which they'll never reveal all of it. Like it's all good. It's there's nothing to worry about. But I find that a lot in media or independent media, and people wanting the system, and because people are getting tired of the system and the way it is, and it makes sense. I don't blame them. I've been tired of it too. I haven't been here for half as long as a lot of people, but it's just one of those things where it's getting emotional, right? You're getting tied up again, and you're getting all worked up, probably watching too much news, probably watching, and getting too offended by it, taking it personally, taking it, because you remember, game's already won, right? It's already won, right? But we have to see it through. You have to be the game winner. You have to I am, without limitation. Just I am. Not I am this, I am that. I am, right? And I think that's a big one. I think for a lot of people, we're in the world, we're so stuck on proving everything. What else did I say? What else came through? I think maybe we'll save it for this Sunday. And it was enjoying the ride, and it was really really stepping back, and just letting it happen, putting yourself where you need to be, feeling good about yourself, your family, your friends, your loved ones, and again with the media, watching it, freaking out about it, worrying about it, speculating on it, creating dark vibrations about it or whatever, negative vibrations. You don't need. I've said it before, I never watched the news in my whole entire life until I was, like I said, maybe 20s, when I was like, oh, this stuff, yeah, I could see how this is important. And then, and then it just literally just spun me in a circle, 360. I came right back here to the same place. Like, yeah, still same, but it was something new for me at the time to get into, but it ain't going to fix politics inside of politics, that's for sure. Unless you give it the love from the inside out, but that's the whole. We can talk about, speculate on how that's going to happen, but it comes from us. Oh, that's the one. So George Carlin said it the best. Everybody's mad at politicians, mad at this, mad at that, right? And he said the best. He said maybe it's not the politicians that suck. Okay, maybe it's the people. And I'm paraphrasing and I'm jumping back and forth. It's not the order he said it in, but he basically was like, everyone's like, oh, the politicians suck. Well, where do they come from? They don't just fall out of the sky. Like, they're not just created in a lab somewhere and then we appoint them to politician. They're raised in, and he was talking about America, American family, American homes, American playgrounds and schools and institutions and society. If the politicians suck, then maybe it's because the people suck, right? Like, this politician that sucks, well, he was raised by people, right? He was raised by other humans. He was raised by this society in this world to function in this world, right? In this structure, So if the politicians suck, why? Like, and that's that blame thing. It's like anybody wants to blame something that's abstract, and like blame anything that's just a thought or an idea. It's like cops, all cops suck. No, they don't. A lot of them are really good people. Like, they want to actually help. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I think a lot of people sign up. They're definitely not signing up for the paycheck. You know what I mean? Like, but they're signing up because they want to help the world be a better place. You know, so you can't just rag on them all of a sudden as this abstract idea, like that every single one wronged you since you were a baby. So now every single one, and that's what so much of the problems that we have as people grow up into adulthood, they don't fix their problems. Like, they're still worried about things. They're still thinking of their parents and how their parents were strict, or they're still, they're not out of a lot of things. And then these people are going into becoming the politician. And no one ever assigned him a psychologist to work through his childhood issues. You know what I mean? Like, but we appointed him to office. I don't know who did that. That's why I've always said I've never wanted to vote for anyone that I've ever seen that I had to pick from. Does that make me a bad person? Like, like, how about we just not put those people up there to choose from? Like, does anybody want to make that decision? But we can't. Why? I thought this was a world, at least a country for the people, by the people, of the people. You know what I mean? It's like, and there's that consistency of thought. I've been hitting that a couple times, right? Consistency of thought, guys. Civil War. Yeah, America, greatest country ever. Really? I mean, the greatest half country ever. It's like half of it won, the other half didn't. Well, if we combine them, yin and yang, hey, we're good, right? So I guess that's why we're so great. But it's like the consistency. People are going to get blown away, like, I mean, I can remember, I don't know if I mentioned that, I gave two contradictory thoughts that someone said, like, within like 10 minutes. I don't know if I mentioned it, and it was like, and I just mentioned it, I just repeated it back. I didn't ask them opinion about it. I didn't say where they got it from. I didn't ask nothing. I just repeated it back, and I said, okay, like you were passionate and going on that one, and then now you just contradicted it, but you don't even realize that you contradicted it, So I said it, and the whole room just dropped. The energy was just like brain aneurysm. Here it comes. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I was just. Why doesn't anybody see that too? Like, it's obvious. But I think that's what's coming out now is with a lot of this stuff. People are starting to wake up. That's what it is, literally waking up. But as we're here and as we're coming into this, look at the world. The world has a long way to go. Now, yes, it's going to be faster. It's going to be easier since we've made all these inroads and we've established the grid of light, and we've broken a lot of the old we've broken through a lot of the old darker timelines, and we've done. There's been a lot of work going on, even though it doesn't seem like there's a lot of change happening. But we can definitely now see the change happening. We just all have to make sure to keep our wits about us, right? Keep your love about you. If you love your family, you love your friends, be grateful, take your time in life, be gentle, be loving, be understanding, be present in your life, you know what I mean? And I think we'll be okay, guys. Like, once again, it's like pointing the blame. Once we realize, right, it's not the politicians, it's us. Right? I raised that little stinker who's a politician now. That's my fault. You know what I mean? And again, it's not like, it's not never just like one person, because we got the whole society and the whole, but until we start taking responsibility, you guys, like, everybody just wants it all to be fixed, but nobody has any ideas of how to do it. We just know we don't need to pollute. Okay, well, so how are you going to drive to work? You're going to not pollute, you know what I mean? Like, it's like we all kind of have to do it. So how do we really do it, right? Together, we carpool. Well, I don't trust my neighbors, right? Why would I carpool with my neighbors? Well, we can make the world a better place. Nah. Yeah, but that means I got to be in the car with other people. You know what I mean? Like, and we gotta get over ourselves. Seriously, I've said that before. We really got to get over how scary we all are. Like, the big giant boogeyman who looks just like me, just another person over there. Like, what are we doing? This idolizing icon, right? It's an icon. It's just, it's not even, the celebrity, right? Icon. It's not even really them. It's a character in a movie. You know what I mean? It's like, and not all of them, like musicians, I guess you could say it's them if they're writing their own lyrics, things like this. But, really just getting past it. Like, what is this? I said that about the Scary Movie. It's like, it's all fear and it's just in here. It's just up here. It's not anywhere else. Is it in the movie? You're watching a scary movie. Where's the fear? Is it in the movie? Is he really gonna come out of the movie, out of the screen into your house? Like, no, it's all in your head. Everything that you think, everything, the whole reason the world works the way it does is because of everything that you think about it and everything that you see that it works in this way and that's what you believe and that it makes sense. Okay, well, that's why it keeps doing it because that's what you're setting it up for, right? But that's a whole nother level. It's a huge level, taking responsibility for your life, being the creator of your life. That's a huge one, because to let alone realize that like your impact is significantly important, to go from there to like realizing I'm creating the whole thing. I mean, that's a huge jump, but it's out there. The info is out there now. It's all out there, you guys. The truth is out there. You just gotta look for it. You gotta do your own research. You gotta start researching. You gotta start learning stuff. Like we all want to be, super galactic. We all want to go into space, go to Mars, go to or whatever. Maybe some people don't, but it's like, are we evolving or are we not? We got to actually evolve then in order to do it, So, but as far as with this whole game and the good guys and the bad guys and this and that, it's really like, it's okay. Like the Galactic Council, it's okay. It's all already set up. Everything's good to go, but the pieces that have to move, the visual that they gave me was like, so everything that's been happening up until sort of recent points in time, has been like cleaning up and sustaining and preparing, because we didn't have a sustainable, self-sustainable light grid, and I say self, I mean, it's all of us that are sustaining it, right? Like us light, pods, whatever, beacons, right? But we had to set all that up first. And in order, and until that was set up, we wouldn't have the foundation, because then people who are trying to reach, they're going to bounce back and they're going to hit heaviness all the time. You know what I mean? Like there's numerous reasons. Like, it's like, it's like thinking positive or being negative, when you have that negative tape playing over and over, and oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, maybe from your parents or tough love or whatever, society, so you have that over and over, and every time you run into something like, or you get a break, you're just like, oh, that old tape pattern comes through. So when you reprogram yourself into positive tape, program, then anytime you fall, you're going to bounce right back right to where you're supposed to be. It's going to put you right back to where, so you fell, but you're right back where you were going, because you got your buoys around, or your bumpers, right? I'm thinking of bowling, your bumpers. And that's kind of like with the grid. So all of the initial stuff had to be set up so that it could be sustainable. And this is why the old world isn't sustainable. This is why the, dimensions and this and that and the other, 4D, 5D, 6D, whatever, 70, 80, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, because again, it's already won. It's already set. Everything's already, so it's up to you to decide where you want to be in the play. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to sit on the side? Do you want the balcony seat, right? Or do you want front row? Where you're feeling emotions and then you're still really close to that 3D area, like, but which one? And can you leave? And when it's done, do you leave and go back to your source? Do you, to your balance? So yeah, so now with everything set up, now what has to happen, and I think, and that's what's sort of in that process, is of the old world dying, and where people are like, trying to prop it up and trying to fix it and trying to fight it. So a lot of the stress and worry that everyone's going through, it's just people trying to prop up the old world, that they need to let it go. And it's psychological, it's mental, emotional, and spiritual on all the different levels. And they gave me the insight too while I was thinking about this with the politician, as above, so below. So with politicians, where do they come from? Well, they're humans. They're humans. We're raising them. They're growing up in our societies. They're growing up, so if they're bad, well, we're bad, and not to be, so harsh or whatever, but that's the, the truth of that statement, right? Like the making sense of that, but what they said is it's the same as up above, is there's beings that are higher than earth, higher than human vibrational, that are not savory, you know what I mean? Like, but they know their consciousness, they understand, so they're on a different, level. But as above, so below, it's the same thing. They're not going to appoint someone who doesn't qualify, to do. The only difference being, in their case, they're working together, and in ours, we're just fighting to see who's the better one, like a Coliseum battle. Whoever kills that guy wins. He gets the win. Like, what are we doing, guys? Like, this ain't how you evolve. Like, for all amazing star-spangled awesome that America is, it's really kind of primitive. Like, I don't know. It's a bunch of guys people running around with guns. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, it's not really, I wouldn't call it the most advanced civilization. That's for darn sure. It doesn't mean that we haven't created amazing things, or, but people say, like, well, we have medical system, has anesthesia and has this. Yeah, the anesthesia guy, I think he was in England, and he died broke and like completely discredited, right? Because in his time he was crazy for thinking of something. And I think when he went to test it in front of the people, it actually ended up failing, because the one thing he didn't consider was the body weight, I think, and the amount of dosage that he was giving, or I think it was something silly to where it didn't work. But we use it all the time nowadays, and it's like, and don't get me wrong, if you chop your leg off, go to the doctor, they got to sew it back on. You don't only have, you chop your tip of your finger off, hurry, get it back on, staple, hurry up, get it, yeah, there's a purpose for a medical system, like, yeah, okay, like, I'm not knocking that, but again, it's like 300 years versus 5,000, that's just Chinese alone, that's just them alone, the traditional Chinese medicine, and they have it documented, like, it's kept up. It's not, there's no break. It's not like we just, like we left Britain and then we just forgot all our history about that, and we started a new history as the American peoples, and we basically just killed everybody and then started on our new place. So that's not a good history to start with, I think. I don't know if we should do it that way. I don't think that would work either. But, perspective, guys. Consistency of thought. That's what I'm here for. That's going to be fun. That's why I'm sarcastic. That's why it cracks me up, Like, I love it. Laughing at myself, too. Oh, come on, man. Like, when you learn to laugh at yourself, you're going to realize you're the funniest person on the planet, because you're laughing at yourself. Oh, it's hilarious. I can't wait for my life review. People worry about that. They say, oh, my life review when I die. Oh, I'm going to look back at what I did. Oh, my God. It's like, man, give me a cosmic cocktail. Give me the sofa, throw it on the big screen, everybody can come, and we're all just going to watch me be a complete moron for like a whole lifestyle. It's gonna be epic. Oh my gosh. And all of us, like, how much fun we would all have if we could all just laugh at each other like that. Like, and we do all the time anyways. We're all watching YouTube videos of fails and, and all that stuff. And these things should be making us connected, and they are for most of the people. I think for a lot of people, you feel connected when you see someone fail, get out of the kiddie pool and they just totally ate stuff all over the floor. It's the funniest like things in the world, because we all do them, so coming together, like laughing at yourself. I love it. I love when my girlfriend pulls my leg, or I love it when I tease her and we tease each other, and it's like we just start laughing, because we don't care. It's just, it's life. It's you don't have to take everything so seriously, but yeah, be yourself. Don't try to save face, That's that whole idea. You don't want to live a false lie anyways, because then you're not living who you are. You know, if you got a job based off of being someone else, that's going to be a heavy load to carry, because you're going to have to be someone else for the next years of your life. You know, like, you're better off just being you, and, you know, going somewhere where you're going to have fun. You know, I think that's what we're all doing here. We're all going somewhere where we're either going to have fun or we're going to keep worrying, guys. You know, like, it's really kind of comes down to that love or hate. You know, yay or nay, good or bad, you know. But once you understand it's all up to you, then you're detached from any of it. You know, I've talked about the yin and the yang and the yuan qi. You want to be the yuan qi. That's where your source comes from. That's where the yuan is the source of the yin and the yang. But yeah, all right, I'll stop for now. I wasn't planning. It's been 30 minutes. And it's unlisted, so nobody's gonna see this until I post it. So I'm gonna get off now. I'll talk later next time, and probably be on for sure this Sunday. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. Much love, much light. Namaste, and I'll see you guys later. Okay, now I'm typing. I don't know what's happening. I just wanted to